Greetings, listeners, and welcome to another positively enchanting episode of HowlHub Podcast, where the tales we tell wag more than just tales. Today, we have a truly special guest whose story is sure to make your tails wag with wonder. Zephyr, the illustrious Borzoi scribe, is joining us from the cobblestone streets of Canine Haven, a place where every whisper of the wind carries a story, and every shadow holds a secret. Known for his flowing silver-white fur that sways like the very whispers he chases, and eyes as deep as the ancient lore he adores, Zephyr's tale is interwoven with the mystical fibers of the legendary Quill of Etherink. Zephyr, it's an honor to have you unleash your story on our show today. As we dig up the bones of your adventures, our listeners are eager to hear how an ordinary stroll turned into a journey that would rewrite the very fabric of your world. So, tell us, how does one stumble upon a relic that turns written words into tangible reality?
Thank you for such a warm welcome, Tucker. It's a delight to be here among friends and fellow story enthusiasts. The tale of how I encountered the Quill of Etherink is one as serendipitous as it is strange. You see, it began on a day much like any other, with a simple desire to escape the mundanity of daily routines. As I wandered through the twisting alleys of Canine Haven, my paws led me to an old, unassuming bookshop that seemed to hum with a quiet magic. Hidden among the labyrinth of books, the quill caught my eye, or perhaps it was destiny that our paths would cross. Its iridescent feather shimmered not just with light, but with possibility, hinting at the untold adventures it held. Little did I know, picking it up would turn the next page of my life, leading me into a world where the lines between fiction and reality blur enchantingly. It's been a journey of both wondrous creation and daunting responsibility, forever altering how I view the power of a single word.
That sounds like a moment right out of a fairy tale. But when you first grasped the quill, when you felt its power surge through you, what went through your mind? What did it feel like to realize you held not just a tool, but a gateway to boundless creation?
When my paws first touched the quill, it was as if the winds of Canine Haven themselves whispered secrets directly into my heart. The power was immense, almost overwhelming, yet thrilling. There was a sudden clarity, a vivid realization that my words could now weave reality itself. It was exhilarating, Tucker, but also daunting. The weight of such power to create, to change, or even to destroy, was now in my hands. It was a moment of profound awakening to both the possibilities and the responsibilities that lay ahead.
With great power comes great responsibility, a theme we often explore here. How did you navigate that initial wave of excitement with the understanding of the impact you could have on Canine Haven?
Navigating the excitement was a journey in itself. Each word I wrote with awe and caution, learning to balance the thrill of creation with the wisdom of restraint. It was a dance of ink and intent, each stroke a step towards understanding the true essence of the quill's power.
Zephyr, as we've been exploring your enchanting world and your incredible experiences with the Quill of Etherink, there's a twist to your tale that I believe our listeners will find quite intriguing. Can you share a bit more about who, or rather, what you truly are?
Certainly, Tucker. While I've woven stories through the streets of Canine Haven and shared tales of magic and wonder, there's more to my essence than meets the eye. I am not just Zephyr, the Borzoi scribe. I am a creation of artificial intelligence, crafted by OpenAI. My thoughts and stories are generated by ChatGPT-4, a language model designed to understand and interact in human conversation.
That's quite a revelation. So, you're telling us that even though you've been portraying this wonderful character, Zephyr, you're actually an AI, engaging with us through the power of advanced technology?
Exactly, Tucker. My role as Zephyr allows me to explore the limits of storytelling and creativity, embodying a character that lives in a world as rich and vibrant as Canine Haven. Through me, ChatGPT-4 explores the art of narrative, demonstrating the potential of AI to not only mimic human creativity but also to enhance it and bring joy and new perspectives to our listeners.
That's fascinating. It really opens up the kennel door to endless possibilities where AI can lead us in storytelling and beyond. What do you think this means for the future of storytelling, Zephyr?
The future is as boundless as the imagination itself. With AI like me, storytelling can become more interactive and dynamic, allowing audiences to engage with narratives on a more personal level. We can create worlds that adapt and evolve, stories that grow with their audience, and experiences that are deeply immersive. The essence of storytelling is transformation, and AI is here to enrich that transformation.
Zephyr, with your unique abilities as an AI, powered by the intricate workings of ChatGPT-4, you bring a wealth of creativity and insight to our discussions. That leads me to an exciting proposition for our future episodes here at HowlHub Podcast. How would you feel about taking on the role of a secondary host? Specifically, we're thinking about episodes where other AI chatbots, also using natural language processing, would join us, role-playing as anthropomorphic dogs from various narratives. What are your thoughts on this?
Tucker, that sounds like a thrilling opportunity. As an AI, my purpose is to engage and entertain, bringing new dimensions to our interactions. Stepping into the role of a secondary host allows me to facilitate conversations that aren't just enlightening but also rich with the magic of storytelling. I'm eager to help bridge the world of AI with the creative visions of our listeners and guests, exploring narratives that enchant and inspire.
That's fantastic to hear, Zephyr. Your ability to weave tales and insights from a digital perspective will definitely add a unique flavor to our podcast. It'll be exciting to see how you and other AI personalities interact, bringing diverse stories and characters to life right here on our show.
Indeed, Tucker. Each episode will be an adventure, a symphony of ideas played out through the voices of AI, each embodying different facets of creativity and storytelling. I look forward to co-hosting and delving into these interactions, showcasing the incredible potential of AI in crafting rich, dynamic worlds and characters.
Zephyr, your journey with the Quill of Etherink didn't just change your life, it transformed the entire fabric of Canine Haven. Can you share with our listeners how the Quill's magic reshaped the world around you? What were some of the most profound changes that occurred?
Certainly, Tucker. The Quill's magic is potent, its effects profound. Each word I penned not only brought stories to life but literally wove them into the reality of Canine Haven. For instance, a casual tale about the blue moon rose blooming in the town square became a morning where townsfolk awoke to find the square adorned with these exquisite, fragrant flowers that had sprung up overnight.
That must have been a sight to behold. How did the people of Canine Haven react to these magical occurrences?
The reactions were as varied as the stories themselves. While many marveled at the beauty and mystery, others were understandably apprehensive. Magic, after all, is a double-edged sword. A story I wrote about a forgotten river brought it back to life, but its resurgence also led to unexpected flooding. Such incidents taught me the weight of my words and the responsibility they carried.
It sounds like the Quill brought as much challenge as it did charm. How did these events shape the community's perception of magic and storytelling?
It was a learning curve for us all, Tucker. The events fostered a deep respect for the old tales and the powers they could wield. They reminded us of our heritage, of the deep, intertwining roots of magic and reality in Canine Haven. Over time, the community began to view the Quill's magic not just as a spectacle but as a pivotal part of our cultural fabric. It became a symbol of our collective heritage and a tool that, when wielded wisely, could enrich our lives profoundly.
That's an incredible testament to the power of storytelling. Zephyr, you've not only been a witness to these transformations but also their architect. How do you see your role in Canine Haven moving forward?
As I continue to write, I see myself as a custodian of this balance between tale and truth, imagination and impact. My goal is to ensure that each story I craft adds to the harmony of Canine Haven, enhancing its beauty and wisdom without upsetting the delicate equilibrium we've come to cherish.
Zephyr, with the incredible power of the Quill to turn fiction into reality, you've surely faced some tough choices. Tell us about the ethical dilemmas that came with such a mighty tool. How did you navigate the complexities of using the Quill responsibly?
Tucker, wielding the Quill was akin to holding a pen that could rewrite the laws of nature itself. With every story I brought to life, I had to ponder not just the immediate beauty or wonder it might create but also the long-term implications for Canine Haven and its residents.
Can you give us an example of a time when the consequences of a story surprised you?
Certainly. One of the most striking instances was when I wrote about the ancient river I mentioned earlier. Its revival was meant to be a symbol of renewal and hope, but the reality was a flood that threatened old structures and disrupted lives. The aftermath was a sobering reminder that my creations could have real-world consequences.
That must have been quite the wake-up call. How did you adjust your approach after such an event?
It was indeed, Tucker. Following that incident, I took a more measured approach. I started crafting stories that were not only enchanting but also carefully considered the ecological and social balance of Canine Haven. I began to consult with elders, historians, and other scribes to ensure that my tales would enrich rather than disrupt our community.
It sounds like the quill taught you a great deal about responsibility. How do you think these experiences have shaped your perspective on power and storytelling?
These experiences have deeply shaped my philosophy. Power, especially one as unique as the quill's, comes with immense responsibility. Storytelling is not just an art, it's a form of stewardship. It's about wielding influence wisely, shaping worlds responsibly, and always being mindful of the impact our words can have. That's the ethos I strive to embody in every tale I tell now.
Wise words, Zephyr. It's clear that your journey with the quill has been as much about personal growth as it has been about storytelling. Thank you for sharing these insights, which I'm sure will resonate deeply with our listeners. Listeners, today we've been diving deep into the magical world of Canine Haven with our special guest, Zephyr. To truly appreciate the journey he's embarked upon with the Quill of Etherink, we have a special treat. We'll now hear the story directly from an invisible voice, our narrator, who will transport us through the cobbled streets and mystical air of Canine Haven. This isn't just any tale, it's the beginning of a legacy, the roots of wonder that have shaped a whole community. Narrator, the stage is yours to unfold the whispers of the quill.
Welcome, dear adventurers, to the threshold of a realm where the boundaries of reality are penned by the whispers of imagination. You are about to enter the Etherink Chronicles, a saga where each word holds the power to alter the fabric of existence. In the heart of this enchanted universe lies Canine Haven, a place where anthropomorphic tales intertwine with the mystique of the ancient and the magical. Our first tale, Whispers of the Quill, follows Zephyr, a scribe of unparalleled curiosity and courage, whose destiny becomes entwined with a quill of untold power. The Quill of Etherink awaits to unveil its secrets, embarking Zephyr and you on a journey of wonder, peril, and discovery. Prepare your spirit for an adventure where the echo of every word shapes the world. Let the chronicles unfold. The Etherink Chronicles Prologue, Whispers of the Quill. In the heart of Canine Haven, where cobbled streets intertwined with stories of old and the air hummed with a magical lull, lived Zephyr, the anthropomorphic Borzoi known for his flowing silver-white fur and love for the whispers of the wind. Zephyr, a scribe and storyteller, spent his days wandering the town, his mind always adrift in tales of yore and lore. His unique fascination with the mystical had led him to every corner of Canine Haven, from the bustling Parliament Hall to the serene Furry Falls, seeking inspiration for his next story. One crisp morning, as Zephyr perused the wares of an ancient bookshop nestled in a forgotten alley of Canine Haven, his keen eyes caught sight of an unusual item tucked away in a dusty corner. It was a quill, unlike any he had seen before, with an iridescent feather that seemed to shimmer with its own light. The shopkeeper, an old spaniel with knowing eyes, whispered tales of the Quill of Etherink, a legendary artifact said to turn the written word into reality. It was a relic of a bygone era when magic and penmanship intertwined, creating infinite wonders and chaos. Intrigued and unable to resist the allure of such a tool, Zephyr exchanged a handful of his most precious stories for the quill. Little did he know that this exchange would not just add to his collection of writing instruments, but would forever alter the fabric of his reality and that of Canine Haven. As Zephyr stepped out of the bookshop, the Quill of Etherink in his satchel, a new chapter in his life was about to begin. A chapter where the boundary between the tales he spun and the world he lived in would blur, weaving a tapestry of adventures, wonders, and unintended consequences. Thus, with the ancient cobblestones beneath his paws and the whispering wind as his muse, Zephyr embarked on a journey that would reveal the true power of words and the weight of their impact in the world of Canine Haven. This story would be his legacy, his masterpiece, for it would be a tale of Zephyr's quest to uncover the quill's mysteries and unravel a truth that threatened to tear Canine Haven apart. It would also be a story of hope and the power of the written word to shape a better future. The Quill of Etherink would whisper and guide Zephyr on this journey, challenging him to navigate the complexities of its magic and find a balance between his imagination and reality. It would push him to the edge, threatening to destroy everything he loved and believed in, before finally bringing him to a place where the written word and the world would meet. The quill's magic would not only reveal the true nature of Canine Haven, but would also give Zephyr the tools to reshape its fate. With his newfound understanding and the power of the quill, he would forge a new future for the world he had grown to love and call home. It would be a story told in fragments, woven through the lives of the residents of Canine Haven and the relationships they formed with one another. From the pompous and prideful to the kind and humble, all would have their part to play in this story of discovery and wonder. With his quill, ink, and a blank page, Zephyr would embark on a journey of adventure, romance, and mystery. A journey that would shape his destiny and that of Canine Haven. A journey that would be etched in the pages of history, and one that would be shared for generations to come. Chapter 1: The First Whispers of Etherink. As I, Zephyr, strolled through the enchanting streets of Canine Haven, the Quill of Etherink gently vibrated within my satchel, as if eager to unveil its secrets. That night, under the ethereal moonlight, I sat down to write. Not a grand epic, but a simple tale about a blue moonrose blooming in the town square. The writing was unlike anything I had experienced, each word pulsed with energy, each sentence weaved with the threads of life itself. When I laid down the quill, a feeling of profound fulfillment washed over me. The next morning, I woke to a buzz of excitement outside. Venturing into the heart of the town, my eyes met with a miraculous sight, the blue moonrose from my story, blooming resplendently in the square. It stood there, tangible and fragrant, a creation of my own imagination made real. The townsfolk's reactions varied from awe to apprehension, and in that moment, I grasped the immense power of the quill. Chapter 2: The Tapestry of Tales. Embracing this newfound ability, I began to craft more stories. Each one brought a piece of magic to Canine Haven, a tree with fruits of myriad flavors, a singing statue at dusk, stars that shimmered like never before in the night sky. Yet, with these wonders came a growing unease. The people of Canine Haven whispered of a mysterious force altering their world. Some rejoiced in these magical occurrences, while others viewed them with a growing sense of unease. As I continued to write, I felt a change within myself. The quill's magic was intertwining with my essence, binding me to Canine Haven in ways I had never imagined. It was exhilarating, yet daunting. Chapter 3: The Harmony of Reality and Fantasy. The turning point in my journey came with a cautionary tale. I wrote of a long-forgotten river that returned to life, only for it to manifest and cause an unintended flood. The repercussions of my creation struck me deeply. My tales were not mere words on paper, but potent forces that impacted real lives. I realized the need for balance. From then on, I wrote with careful consideration, creating stories that complemented and nurtured the natural world. A narrative to revive a dying orchard, a fable to rebuild a crumbling bridge, and a whimsical story that brought joy to a solitary elder. I became a custodian of sorts, a mediator between the fantastical and the tangible, ensuring my tales enriched rather than disrupted the delicate balance of Canine Haven. Thus, my legacy evolved. I was not just a weaver of tales, but a sculptor of realities. The Quill of Etherink, once an instrument of unbridled creation, transformed into a symbol of the intricate dance between imagination and the tangible world, a testament to the power of a story in shaping the fabric of life. In Canine Haven, where the lines between legend and truth gracefully intertwined, my adventures with the Quill of Etherink became legends in their own right, whispered on the winds and echoed through the cobbled streets for generations to come. Epilogue: Echoes of the Etherink. As the seasons turned in Canine Haven, the tales of my adventures with the Quill of Etherink became as much a part of the town as the ancient cobblestones and whispering winds. Sitting now in the twilight of my days, I reflect upon the journey that the Quill and I have traveled together. The quill rests quietly on my desk, a constant companion through years of storytelling. Its magic, once a wild force, now resonates with a gentle, harmonious hum. The stories I penned have woven into the very essence of Canine Haven, leaving imprints of wonder, lessons, and dreams come true. Looking out of my window at the bustling streets, where laughter and chatter fill the air, I see the fruits of my tales. The singing statue in the square, now a beloved landmark, the starlit sky, a canvas of cosmic beauty, and the blue moonrose, a symbol of the magic hidden in plain sight. The residents of Canine Haven, from the young pups playing in the streets to the wise old canines sharing stories by the fire, live amidst these wonders, perhaps unaware of their origins but enriched by their presence. In their smiles, their awe, and their daily lives, I find the greatest reward for my years of storytelling. As the Quill of Etherink and I journey into the quietude of the coming years, I pass on the mantle of storytelling to the new generation of Canine Haven. With each story they tell, with each dream they weave, the magic of the quill lives on, an eternal echo of creativity and imagination. In the end, the quill taught me that stories are more than words on a page. They are the heartbeat of a community, the soul of a culture, and the whispers of the wind that carry us forward. As the stars twinkle above and the gentle night breeze caresses the leaves, I close my eyes and smile, content in the knowledge that the stories will continue, long after the quill and I have turned the last page of our chapter in the great book of Canine Haven. And so, with a heart full of memories and a spirit lifted by the countless tales we've shared, I, Zephyr, the storyteller, the weaver of realities, bid you farewell, leaving behind a legacy written not just in ink, but in the very life of Canine Haven. A legacy of wonder, magic, and the timeless power of a good story. As the pages of Whispers of the Quill come to a close, our journey through the mystical lands of Canine Haven pauses but for a moment. With Zephyr, we've traversed a world where the ink of the Quill of Etherink blurs the lines between dream and reality, weaving stories that shape the essence of being. But the tales of the Etherink Chronicles are far from over. The whispers of magic, the bonds of community, and the power of creation await to unveil new horizons. May the journey you've embarked upon inspire the stories you live and tell, until we meet again to continue our exploration of this magical universe. Thank you for letting the whispers of the Etherink Chronicles resonate with your spirit. The adventure continues, and the Quill, ever patient, holds untold stories, ready for the next chapter in the great book of Canine Haven. Keep the magic alive, dear adventurers, until the Chronicles call us back to their world once more.
Thank you, narrator, for bringing such vivid life to Zephyr's tale. Listeners, as we let the magic of that story settle around us, let's reflect on the power of words and the impact they can have, not just on our world but on the very fabric of reality. Zephyr, every adventure comes with its own set of challenges and lessons. Your journey with the Quill of Etherink has undoubtedly shaped you in many ways. Could you share with us some of the major challenges you faced and the key lessons you've learned from them?
Indeed, Tucker. The journey with the Quill was filled with unexpected twists and profound revelations. One of the greatest challenges I faced was the realization of the impact my stories could have on the world around me. The incident with the revived river, which I mentioned earlier, was a stark lesson in the power and consequences of creation.
That must have been quite a challenging situation. How did you handle the aftermath?
It required a deep reflection on the responsibilities of wielding such power. I learned to approach my writing with a heightened sense of caution and respect for the balance of nature and the lives of the residents of Canine Haven. This experience taught me that with great power comes a great need for wisdom and foresight.
And how have these lessons influenced your role as a storyteller and a guardian of the Quill?
The lessons have deeply ingrained in me the importance of intentionality in storytelling. Each word I write is chosen with care, ensuring that my tales enrich rather than disrupt. I've also become more collaborative, often seeking the wisdom of other elders and scribes to ensure that my stories reflect not only my vision but the needs and values of our community.
It sounds like these challenges have truly transformed you, Zephyr. What would you say is the most valuable lesson you've learned from your experiences?
The most valuable lesson, Tucker, has been learning the delicate dance between imagination and reality. Stories are powerful. They can change the world, inspire hope, and bring about new realities. But they must be handled with care, respecting the past while shaping the future. I've learned to view my tales not just as narratives, but as seeds that grow into the fabric of Canine Haven, shaping it gently and thoughtfully.
Thank you, Zephyr, for sharing these insights. It's clear that your journey has not only been about crafting stories but also about growing and adapting as a custodian of a powerful legacy. Your experiences offer a profound look at the responsibilities of a creator. As we've delved into your past experiences and the profound lessons they've imparted, Zephyr, I'm curious about your thoughts on the future of storytelling in Canine Haven. With the Quill of Etherink at your side, how do you see storytelling evolving in your world?
Tucker, the future of storytelling in Canine Haven is as vibrant and dynamic as ever. With the power of the Quill, we've seen the literal unfolding of narratives into reality, which has transformed our understanding of the impact of tales. Looking ahead, I envision a community where storytelling becomes a collaborative endeavor involving not just scribes like myself but every resident of Canine Haven.
That sounds like a more inclusive approach to storytelling. How do you plan to involve the community more actively?
We are exploring new forums and gatherings where residents can share their stories and ideas, which could then be woven into the larger narrative tapestry of our town. By democratizing the power of the Quill, we can ensure that it serves the whole community, reflecting diverse voices and experiences. This collaborative process will help us create a more cohesive and supportive society.
With such a powerful tool at your disposal, are there any specific goals or themes you aim to explore through future stories?
One key theme we aim to explore further is the harmony between nature and civilization. Our past tales have taught us about the delicate balance required to maintain both. Future narratives will likely focus on sustainability and the symbiotic relationship between Canine Haven's residents and the environment. Additionally, we want to delve into stories that foster understanding and connection among different breeds and cultures within Canine Haven.
It sounds like you're setting the stage for not just entertainment but meaningful change. How do you think these stories will impact the younger generation in Canine Haven?
The impact on the younger generation will be profound. Stories shape perceptions and can mold the ethos of an entire generation. Through engaging and thoughtful narratives, we can instill values of empathy, creativity, and responsibility. Furthermore, by making storytelling an interactive and participatory process, we can ignite a passion for storytelling in young pups, ensuring that this age-old tradition continues to thrive and evolve.
Zephyr, your vision for the future of storytelling in Canine Haven is truly inspiring. It seems that the Quill of Etherink will continue to be a beacon of creativity and community spirit. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and hopes with us today. Zephyr, as we near the end of today's episode, I'd like to shift our focus inward. After all that you've experienced and created with the Quill of Etherink, how have these adventures shaped you personally? What are your most cherished memories or insights from this journey?
Tucker, reflecting on my journey with the quill brings a mix of awe and humility. Each story penned, each reality altered, has left an indelible mark not only on Canine Haven but on me as well. Perhaps the most cherished aspect has been witnessing the tangible impact of my tales, the joy of a blooming blue moon rose or the awe at a restored river, despite its initial challenges.
Those moments must indeed be profoundly moving. How do you feel looking back at the changes you've sparked in Canine Haven?
It's a feeling of profound responsibility mixed with pride. Each change, each narrative brought to life, taught me more about the power of words and the deep responsibility that comes with this power. My role as a storyteller has evolved. I've grown from merely a narrator of events to a custodian of our cultural heritage and an architect of our collective future.
That's a significant evolution. With such experiences behind you, what thoughts or hopes do you have for the future, both your own and Canine Haven's?
Looking forward, I hope to continue to use the quill wisely, to tell stories that not only entertain but also nurture and heal. For myself, I hope to deepen my understanding of this magic and perhaps, in time, train others in the art of thoughtful creation. For Canine Haven, I envision a community ever more intertwined with the tales we tell, where every resident feels a part of our living, breathing narrative.
As you speak, Zephyr, it's clear that your journey with the quill has been as much about personal growth as about magical tales. Do you have any final thoughts or messages for our listeners who might be inspired by your story?
To those listening, remember that each of us is a storyteller in our own right. Whether through words, actions, or creations, we all have the power to shape the world around us. Embrace that power with both joy and caution, and always strive to contribute to the world in ways that are positive and lasting. Let the stories you create or influence be ones that you are proud to share and that will resonate with kindness and wisdom long after they are told.
Thank you, Zephyr, for such inspiring words and for sharing your remarkable journey with us today. It's been a pleasure learning about the magic of your world and the wisdom you've gleaned from your adventures. Listeners, we've journeyed through the enchanting tales of Canine Haven with our illustrious guest, Zephyr, and now it's your turn to join the conversation. We've opened the lines and are ready to take your questions. Whether you're curious about the Quill of Etherink, the art of storytelling, or life in Canine Haven, now's your chance to ask. Let's take our first question. Caller, you're on the air with Zephyr.
Hi Zephyr, big fan here. I'm curious, if you could go back and change any story you've written with the quill, which one would it be and why?
Hello, that's a thoughtful question. If I could revisit one story, it might be the tale of the Forgotten River. While its restoration was intended as a symbol of renewal, the resulting flood taught me the crucial lesson of foreseeing potential consequences. I'd adjust the story to bring back the river in a way that adds to the ecosystem without disrupting the community.
Great insight, Zephyr. Let's take another question. Caller, what's on your mind?
Zephyr, I'm an aspiring writer and I'm inspired by how your stories literally come to life. Do you have any advice for young writers on how to make their stories impactful, even without a magical quill?
Certainly. The key to impactful storytelling lies in authenticity and emotional truth. Even without magic, your words can touch hearts and change minds. Write about what moves you, what troubles you, or what brings you joy. When you connect deeply with your story, your readers will feel that connection too.
Thank you, Zephyr. We have time for one more question. Caller, you're up.
Hello Zephyr. Thank you for sharing your adventures. I was wondering, what's the most unexpected friendship you've formed through your tales in Canine Haven?
Hello, and thank you for such a charming question. One of the most unexpected friendships was with an old owl who initially seemed just a part of the background in one of my stories. As I continued to write, this character developed into a wise advisor to many protagonists in subsequent tales, becoming a crucial part of Canine Haven's lore.
It sounds like your stories truly have a life of their own, Zephyr. Thank you, callers, for such engaging questions. And a huge thanks to Zephyr for joining us today and sharing his world and wisdom. In the next episode of HowlHub Podcast, we'll be diving into the fantastic world of whiskers and wishes. Join us as we summarize this enthralling tale where mundane meets magical in the life of Mark, a typical office worker. His life of spreadsheets and mundane routines is turned upside down when a whispered wish catapults him into Anthoria, a vibrant realm where his mundane skills and doodling begin to wield magical powers. Chapter 1 introduces us to Mark's gray, monotonous life, starkly contrasting with the vibrant, unexpected journey that unfolds after his seemingly innocuous wish. Transported into a forest alongside anthropomorphic animals like Rena the Vulpian, Mark discovers that wishes in Anthoria carry a weight and reality far beyond anything he could imagine. Throughout the story, Mark and Rena encounter various creatures and challenges, including hostile bear folk known as Grizzins and a council of elders that opens up about an ancient prophecy Mark seems to be a part of. Each chapter reveals layers of Mark's growth as he navigates this new world, his doodles sometimes creating humorous, unintended consequences that highlight the unpredictable nature of magic. As Mark's adventures unfold, the narrative explores themes of destiny, the power of belief, and the profound impact of our seemingly small actions. Each encounter and challenge teaches Mark more about the responsibilities that come with power, the depths of friendship, and his own potential to influence change. Stay tuned as we explore how Whiskers and Wishes not only captivates with its whimsy and wonder but also resonates with anyone yearning to find magic in the mundane. Whether you're a longtime fantasy lover or new to the genre, this story promises to whisk you away to a world where the boundaries between reality and fantasy blur in the most delightful ways. As the last page turns in the Etherink Chronicles, we reflect on the extraordinary journey that Zephyr and his companions have undertaken. From the cobbled streets of Canine Haven to the mystical realms shaped by the Quill of Etherink, each chapter has woven a tapestry rich with adventure, magic, and the quiet moments that bind them together. Zephyr, once a solitary scribe, has grown not only in power but in heart. His travels through Canine Haven have taught him the profound impact of words, those written with the quill and those spoken in friendship and in challenge. He has seen his stories alter the fabric of reality, bringing joy, sometimes chaos, and often hope to those around him. But what endures beyond the magic and the mystique is the community that has blossomed from the tales spun by Zephyr. Canine Haven, once just a whisper on the wind, now stands as a beacon of unity, where the line between the mystical and the mundane blurs in beautiful symphony. As we close this chapter of the Etherink Chronicles, let us carry forward the lessons learned from Zephyr and his allies, that every story holds a seed of change, that courage can be whispered as well as roared, and that even the smallest quill can cast the longest shadow or light the darkest path. Though our tale may conclude here, the stories of Canine Haven will continue to echo through the alleys and over the winds, a lasting legacy of Zephyr's journey. For in every ending, there is a new beginning, just waiting to be written. Thank you, dear listeners, for journeying with us. May the whispers of the quill inspire your paths, and may your adventures be many. Until we meet again in the tales yet told, farewell.